welcome to the first episode of Sideline podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Derek Perez, alongside
Francisco Marines, and now let's get straight into it.
All right, first thing first, we're going over week 1 predictions, the first two, the Brazil game and opening day. Chiefs versus Ravens and Packers versus Eagles. What you got for Chiefs versus Ravens?
Okay, so Chiefs versus Ravens, I think I'll go with the defending champs, obviously.
Yeah.
They got Pacheco, who's going to have a breakout year. They got arguably like the GOAT on their team.
Arguably the GOAT is crazy.
Arguably, yes. He's probably second all time.
You're a Patriots fan and you're saying that?
Yes, he's probably the second GOAT. Like,
all right, whatever.
Probably the second greatest tight end of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Rashee Rice, who's going to take a big jump this year.
Yeah, and they normally have Marquise Brown. He's injured this week.
Hollywood Brown, yeah.
And Xavier Worthy, who they drafted with their first round pick.
Yeah, fastest 40-yard time.
I agree. I got Chiefs 27, Ravens 21.
Repeat that.
Chiefs 27, Ravens 21 is going to be my official prediction.
I'd say...
I don't think it's going to be that high of a scoring game. I don't know.
I don't have confidence in the Ravens.
Yeah, me either. They don't have a receiving core. Zay Flowers. And who else? It's Zay Flowers. That's an entire receiving core.
Zay Flowers. That's going to be a very run-heavy offense this year.
Yeah. And Mark Andrews, but he's been injured the last 3 seasons.
Devin Duvernay is non-existent.
Rashad Bateman. That can't be your receiving core if you're going to win a championship.
And Lamar Jackson, he won the MVP. He's won 2 MVPs without showing his ability to throw the ball at an elite level.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't think he should have won MVP last season.
Nah, no shot.
Yeah.
Is it glazing to say that it should have been Patrick Mahomes?
No, they had one of the better records. I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know who I'd have given it to. Maybe CMC. CMC deserved it. Tyreek Hill maybe. But there's a lot of options. I haven't really thought about that. But it shouldn't have been Lamar Jackson. That's what I know.
Yeah. But also another thing that the Ravens defense is still not miles, but it's still a lot better than the Chiefs defense, so that might keep them in the game. You never know. Lamar Jackson, he could hit him with get
Duke moves here and there, score, running touchdown. Derrick Henry has
still got the king, yeah.
And even with Derrick Henry, you have Chris Jones, a great defensive line on the Chiefs. That could somewhat counter Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry's getting up there in age at this point.
Yeah, and their offensive line is it's not bad. I just don't think it's as good as let's say a Lions offensive line. So what was your score prediction again?
27-21 Chiefs.
27-21. Okay. Yeah, I'd say it might be a 2 touchdown. So add 7 to the Chiefs there. And that'd probably be my prediction. All right, so what's the next game?
Next game is the Brazil game between the Packers and the Eagles. Who you got?
Packers and Eagles. I know most people might go for the Eagles. Well, I'm going for the Eagles too. I don't believe I don't think last year for Jordan Love was a fluke necessarily, but I don't think they're on that level of an Eagles or a Chiefs still.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. The Eagles, they're great, and the Packers, they've developed a lot. They're gonna have a great season. They're just right under that championship level. The Eagles signed Saquon Barkley. They lost Jason Kelce, but they drafted 2 great corners in the draft. They're going to be chilling.
Yeah.
I got the Eagles 24-20.
Eagles 24. Nah, it can't be that close.
It's going to be that close. The Packers are super underrated.
You think Josh Jacobs,
Jordan Love, they have a super young receiving core. Jalen Reed, Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs. They have the tight end who's great. I forgot his name. But and they signed Xavier McKinney. They already had Jair Alexander. I don't know. They're gonna be great.
But the Eagles' defense is still miles clear though.
No, obviously, but I'm saying it's gonna be a competitive game. It's not gonna be a blowout like I've seen some people predict.
I guess, yeah.
I think it's gonna be a really close game.
It's gonna be pretty fun watching football in Brazil.
That first time they go to Brazil.
Yeah, different type of football coming to Brazil.
It's gonna be a good game in Brazil.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Pretenders and contenders. First team, the New York Jets.
Oh my God, how much I love this team. I love Garrett Wilson. Oh my gosh. I still believe in Aaron Rodgers to be a top 10 quarterback even at his age. Their defense is great. They got Breece Hall, who's arguably the second best running back in the league right now. They might win the division.
I disagree with you. I think they're pretenders. They're built like the Ravens. Except they have a worse quarterback. They have a better running back, but a worse quarterback. Other than that, the teams are very similar.
So you're telling me you're comparing Garrett Wilson to Zay Flowers?
No, I'm comparing, what's his name? Garrett Wilson and Tyler Conkin to Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. It's about the same level when you balance each other out.
Yeah, but they also got Mike Williams too.
And Mike Williams, how many games is he gonna play? 5? He's gonna give you 4 or 5 games.
The games
he gets injured every season. He gets injured every season, 4 or 5 games. They have an amazing defense. So do the Ravens. And you agree that they're probably not gonna be as good as people are predicting.
I guess, but you never know. Maybe the Jets keep going to the Jets' ways, but and
also, like you said, Aaron Rodgers is probably gonna be a top 10 QB, maybe like borderline right there.
If he stays healthy.
Yeah. I'm assuming he stays healthy. He normally stays healthy more or less.
Not last
year, but for the most part, it's the New York Jets curse.
Jets curse.
New York curse.
But even I think their floor is still minimum second in the division.
I think the floor is third. Floor.
I mean, they're obviously...
Yeah, the Bills could have a run. We don't know how Keon Coleman is going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Keon Coleman. Alexander is reliable. Yeah. He's not great. He's reliable, though. They have James Cook, who's probably going to have a breakout year.
Yeah.
They always have Josh Allen. They always have a great defense. I think the floor is 3.
I do want to see Josh Allen lower his touchdown and interception ratio.
Yeah. All right, next up, the Houston Texans.
They're not contenders, but they can contend, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I have for 2 of the teams on this list. They're right under the championship level.
Yeah, but they're not at like the mid or trash level either.
They're gonna be like 5-6 seed. For even the Texans, they could even win the division.
Yeah.
It's only the Colts in that division. The Colts?
The Colts, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So the Colts could win the division. The super underrated team, in my opinion. But when it comes to the playoffs, the Houston Texans are going to do better than the Colts.
And also love their wide receiver core. Tank Dell. Oh my God. Nico Collins.
And Stephon Diggs from the Bills that we were just talking about.
We could see some regression from Stephon Diggs, obviously, getting up there in age. But still.
Dalton Schultz as tight end. Yeah. Joe Mixon at running back. Will Anderson on the defense. Derek Stingley on the defense. It's an amazing team, but I think they're just too young. A bit next year, they could, with 2 more additions, they could be winning a championship next year.
And we're gonna see some regression from CJ Stroud, obviously.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fluke year, but it was like
now teams have film on him and they're gonna know how to.
Yeah. And it's like
slight regression though. Yeah, I agree with you. CJ Stroud had an amazing year last year, but it's hard to keep something like that up.
He also raised the bar on like rookies.
Yeah.
So now rookies are projected to like go off. Like they're gonna be rated.
Yeah, that's something we'll get into later, but I completely agree with you.
Yeah, they're gonna be rated like
Puka Nacua, Kyron, all these rookies completely changed everything fantasy-wise.
Yeah. What's next on the list?
Next on the list is the Dallas Cowboys. You want to say it at the same time?
3, 2, 1. Pretenders! Oh my gosh, the biggest clowns in the NFL. Oh my God. What's their owner's name again?
I can't tell you.
Oh my God, that man is such a goofball.
I know what you're talking about, the little guy. Yeah. But look, let's talk about the team real quick. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, yes.
Brandon Cooks at this point in his career. He's somewhat reliable.
Yeah.
He was injured a couple games last season. But he's not gonna be that guy to give you. He's not gonna be the Jalen Waddle for your team. The Gabe Davis has 30-point games. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's not gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know who the third receiver is. It's probably a rookie. And their running back court. Let's talk about this. Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott. Both of them are 60, 50 years old.
Yeah, but
not gonna do much.
They're still pretty solid, I guess.
You want to know who the running back 3 is? Deuce Vaughn on the depth chart. Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah,
I don't think, and they lost so much. They lost 8 players in free agency. They only signed 1, and if you're running through the draft to build back your team back up, you're not a contender. You're rebuilding, trying to get something new going.
Exactly.
So,
like Dak Prescott says, here we go to a first-round playoff loss.
Yeah, like always, like last year, I predicted that Packers. I didn't think it was gonna be a blowout like that, but I had the Packers winning.
Oh, what's next on the list?
Next up, we got the Rams, the LA Rams.
The Rams. Oh, me personally, I genuinely think they're contenders. They're super underrated coming into this season. Cooper Kupp coming back. Puka Nacua. I feel like Matthew Stafford's gonna have a bounce back year. Yeah.
Their defense, they lost Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
They lost Ernest Jones. They lost a couple players. The defense is questionable at this point. It's young. It's not bad though. It's just questionable, young age. But their offense is so high powered.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Too much
They're
firepower.
contenders.
Yeah.
And when you have a high powered offense like that, you can win any game. Matthew Stafford, you said it. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams.
Great running backs. Yep.
Kyron Williams had such a great season last year, and he's a guy that can keep it up. It's not CJ Stroud. I think he can keep up the same level, and maybe not improve, but he can keep that same level.
And remember, this is a team that 2 years ago won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you can't really count them out.
Yeah. They went from Super Bowl to missing the playoffs to making the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like
they
just had a bad year with injuries and all that. They're still contenders. Yeah. Matthew Stafford just won a Super Bowl, like he said 2 years ago. He's the experienced quarterback. He has experience in the playoffs. He's gonna do well. And we have the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
Oof. I'll go first on this one. I think it's like you said, they're contenders, but they're contending, but they're not contenders. That's my other team that I agreed with you that I'd put like that. They have Jordan Love, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a fluke year. I think he'll keep up the same level, honestly. You said you think slight regression. I think he might even improve. He has more weapons this season. He has an actual running back game that isn't just Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones was injured all last season. So it was really A.J. Dillon. Aaron Jones played, I think, 5 games last season. He didn't have a running game. He had Christian Watson out for most of the year. And he still got to the second round of the playoffs. With Christian Watson healthy, Josh Jacobs now, A.J. Dillon's out for the season, but he was never the running back one. I think they're going to have a great season. And once again, maybe even make it to the second round of the playoffs again.
Yeah.
They get matched up with.
But I just don't even see them winning their own division. That's the problem. Like, the lines are miles clear.
Yeah.
By a long shot. They're better at almost every position. Hell, I might even say Jared Goff is better than Jordan Love at this point right now.
No.
Yeah, this year.
No.
Yeah.
No. You have to be joking right now.
No, I just don't see it.
Jared Goff he's a steady quarterback, great quarterback, but he's on the tail end of his career. He's already aging. Jordan Love is just starting his career. He spent years under Aaron Rodgers developing, and now just showed how good he is last season. And he's still developing, obviously. He's still, 26, 27?
Yeah, but you gotta see who has the better offensive line.
The Lions.
Who has the better receiver core?
The Lions. I'm not saying they're gonna win the division. I'm just saying I think your quarterback for quarterback, Jordan Love is better than Jared Goff.
Maybe skill wise, but like the statistics this year are gonna show Jared Goff is gonna have a better season.
Jordan Love has the better run game. He has better scrambling game. So statistics, for talking fantasy, Jordan Love's gonna be way better.
Would you rather have Joe Montana or Michael Vick?
That's a good question.
Oh my God, it's Joe Montana. Okay, next team. Nah.
All right, and no, that's it. That's all for contenders and pretenders that we have. It was 5 teams.
Okay.
Next up, we have the draft to pass fantasy football.
Okay.
We're gonna go in order of highest ADP to lowest ADP. So first up, we were just talking about him earlier with the Jets. Breece Hall at 3. Is that a draft or a pass for you?
I mean, it's kind of hard to like draft or pass a a projected first round pick.
Assuming, would you draft him at 3? That's like the question. At that spot, would you draft him? Like personally, I wouldn't. I think he's a pass. I think there's multiple players better than him. I'd rather have.
Yeah, same here.
I'd rather CMC. I'd rather Amon Ra. I'd rather Tyreek Hill. That's enough. But I also rather Bijan. I'd rather those 4 players. I think Brees Hall would be better at 5 than he is at 3.
Bijan, it depends though. If they use him how he was like used last year, he might be like a second round pick. But if they actually use him how they're supposed to, then yeah, he's.
With Kirk Cousins now, they actually have a passing threat.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be a way better team this season.
Yeah.
Elevating Bijan as well. So I think he's just pass.
Yeah,
personally. Pass. All right. Second, Isaiah Pacheco at ADP 16.
Okay, I flip-flopped on this like the whole offseason. I'm drafting that. He's going to have a major breakout year. The backfield is wide open for him. No one's his competition. He has a like way better offensive line. And he's going to be also a passing threat too because of Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Yeah, the screen pass.
Yeah.
Look, all that said, I'm passing, bro.
Why?
Look, he's going to be a great running back. He's going to give you minimum 10, 12 point minimum every week. But I don't see him having consistent huge games like CMC or these top running backs would. I know it's at 16, but there's other wide receivers around that area that I'd rather have. Garrett Wilson, for example. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson as the only wide receiver on the Jets rather than Isaiah Pacheco.
So Mike Williams doesn't exist.
Yeah, Mike Williams doesn't exist. He's gonna get injured. Mark my words. He will be injured before week 5.
He doesn't exist.
He's like a ghost. He will be injured before week 4. Actually, by week 4, he's injured. Torn ACL, torn MCL, something. Like every other year.
He's praying.
I've drafted Mike Williams way too many times.
Oh, he just doesn't exist. It's crazy. No, I just feel like the upside is just there, though.
No, there's a lot of upside, but it's like the same thing with Brees Hall. I'd rather draft him. Like, if I had the 20th pick and he's still there, 100% I'm taking him.
He is not falling out the first round, though. Brees Hall?
No, I'm talking about Isaiah Pacheco.
Who's choosing him in the first round?
I'm talking about Isaiah Pacheco.
Who's choosing him in the first round?
Nobody. I'm saying if I had the 20th pick.
Oh.
Last pick of the second round, that he's still there, that means Garrett Wilson and all these other guys that I'm higher on are probably gone. I'd take him at that point.
Oh, yeah. But I'd draft him at his current ADP, though, right now.
I think I'd put him a little bit lower, but if he's there and you like Isaiah Pacheco's upside, I wouldn't mind taking him.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, this one's one that I'm really passionate about. Malik Neighbors at ADP 27.
Malik Neighbors.
I think it's a hard pass for me, bro. Hard pass. Daniel Jones as his quarterback. Worst offensive line in the league, or at least up there if you want to argue that it's not. You have not a great backfield. It's Devin Singletary and who else? They lost Saquon. The Giants don't have any weapons. It's Daniel Jones, who can't throw a football, to Malik Neighbors, and in the backfield you have Devin Singletary. They just don't have enough weapons. You double team Neighbors, and that's it. They don't have weapons.
Who are some other wide receivers around that draft area?
27, DK Metcalf. We might talk about later. Mike Evans is going 2 spots before.
Oh yeah.
George Pickens is going like 45.
Well, I'd much rather have Mike Evans than Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
First, he's a rookie. Yeah, I'd say pass too. First, he's a rookie. He's gonna get like pressured super hard, double teamed, whatever. Danny Dimes. He can't throw the ball.
Danny Dimes does not throw dimes.
No. Probably gonna get injured. Probably gonna like slip while he has an open like touchdown.
The Italian quarterback's coming back.
Yeah. Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, I think we're lying on this one. I don't like drafting rookies in general. I drafted Bijan last year off the hype, and it worked out okay, but there were better options at that point. I think I'm going back to my old ways and trying not to draft that.
Wasn't he like the RB like 19? What do you mean you were okay?
Huh?
Wasn't he like the RB 19?
Yeah, but okay, he would have like a 2-point game then a 30-point game.
That's But like, who was the Arthur Smith? Arthur Smith was their coach last year. He just doesn't know how to run a football team. So like, can't really blame Bijan for that.
Yeah, with the new coaching staff, Kirk, everything.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be a lot better this season.
But still, can we like go back to the why draft Michael Penix? Why?
Bro, that was
Why?
insane. So they're gonna draft either a defensive player or more weapons for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, or offensive lineman or something. But like, come on, you draft Michael Penix when you just signed a quarterback.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to use Michael Penix as the Jordan Love of that team. Develop him over time, but the problem with that is he's already the oldest quarterback in the draft, or up there at least.
Yeah, and he's he has so many past injuries. Like, I don't see the point of taking.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken Michael Penix even early first round. No matter what the team, I wouldn't have taken him. Yeah. Other quarterbacks I would have rather had.
Yeah, so Malik Neighbors, going back to him.
Yeah,
pass.
Hard pass. I don't know how we got all the way over there. Well, next up, DK Metcalf and an ADP of 30. Who you got? No, not who you got. Draft or pass?
I'd say if he's like available around that like 30, yeah, I'd say I have to draft him. He's been really consistent his years in the NFL. He has a great like body. Pause. He's like very fit. He runs with routes well. He's like a Calvin Johnson type build. He's gonna get the yards. He's gonna obviously break a couple tackles, moss some people. You already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to agree with you. And this is one of my bigger drafts in the entire list I have, if not the biggest. He already had huge game potential, and now the new coach, Mike McDonald, is saying that he's gonna be the number one option. The game runs through him.
Yeah.
The offense runs through him, and when you already have such huge big game potential, and the coach is saying that about you, that means he's gonna have even bigger games, more consistent games. I don't see him going under, maybe once or twice, but I don't see him going under 15 often.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett also had like a big drop off to his game too.
Yeah.
So he's like becoming less and less of a target threat.
And he's getting older.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically all I had for that one.
And he actually has a quarterback, Geno Smith. He's not like top tier, but he's still like better than Danny Dimes.
Yeah. No, Geno Smith is solid. He's an average quarterback. Not great, not horrible. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw everything. He's just not Patrick Mahomes, not Josh Allen, etc.
He's not Drake May.
He's better than Drake May.
No, he's not.
All right, next up, 2 spots after, Deebo Samuel.
Ooh. We're in a little dilemma here because now, if we're doing the draft now that Ayuk signed the contract extension with the with the 49ers, excuse me, I'd still draft him. Yeah, he's Deebo Samuel. Like, he's gonna be the 1 or the 2 option of the team. He has that like running back flexibility. Yeah. He has that versatility.
He's a real life flex.
Yeah. And even with Ayuk there, he still averaged like a good amount. Like, how much was it? 16, 15 points per game?
Yeah, I think it was 17 actually last year.
Yeah, it's still really solid. Yeah.
I'm taking him too. I had this written down before the Ayuk extension, but yeah, I think it's not as big as a draft anymore. Before I was thinking Ayuk, he gets traded. Deebo's the main receiver. George Kittle.
Steal, yeah.
Yeah. George Kittle, I don't know. He has great games and he goes silent for 5 weeks. And then has 2 big games. So it was going to be the Deebo Samuel show alongside Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So he was a huge draft, high-powered offense. But right now, I'm a little, I don't know. Ayuk last year was more of a receiving threat than...
Yeah. And Deebo. But still, Deebo, still great. Absolutely, like, amazing player.
Yeah, agreed. So it's a slight draft, but... there's probably better options around that point now. DK Metcalf, if you can get him instead of Deebo, I'd rather DK Metcalf. For the reasons I explained, like for DK.
But it also depends how you attack like the first rounds of your draft too. Like, if you already drafted 2 great receivers, you're obviously not going to draft Deebo. You might
DK.
Yeah, or DK. You might as well draft a running back.
A Josh Jacobs, I don't know. He goes in the 40s, but.
Yeah.
38, I think now. Moving on, Travis Kelce at 37. All right, I'll go first on this one. I'm taking a draft. He was going top 5 last year. Top 5. He had not the greatest season. He was injured for a couple weeks at some point. But he's basically a wide receiver at tight end.
Yeah.
He plays a wide receiver role. He doesn't play a tight end role. He's not like George Kittle that is a blocker. He actually plays a receiver role rather than a tight end role. He's gonna get the 6, 7, maybe even 8 targets a game. 5 minimum 5. If you look at his stats last season, I don't know. I'd like a wide receiver like tight end. Just more points, more receptions after the catch, yards after the catch. I'm sorry.
Me pass for 2 reasons. One, their targets are even more contested with Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. There's not going to be too many like targets like last year going to.
Even back in the 2021 or the 2021. No, it was 2020. That championship run, Travis Kelce had Tyreek Hill on that team. You had all these players, and he still had an amazing season. He's always gonna get his reception or his targets. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he's also getting up there in age too.
Would you rather him or Sam Laporta?
No, neither. To me, I'd rather draft like a Dalton Kincaid or something in the later rounds.
No, we'll get into later tight ends in a bit, but for now, let's just move on.
No,
that's a draft. Cooper Kupp at 37, at 45. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! Wait! I gotta go first for the draft this man.
100%.
Draft this man. This is a guy who won like the receiving triple crown of like 2 years ago. And you're telling me you're going to pass up on him just because some rookie broke the... Okay, it's not too out of there, but like a rookie broke the rec. Like the rookie...
The rookie broke the receiving yards record.
Puka Nacua had a great season. Great season. This is like a Ayuk Debo Samuel type situation. They're both going to do absolutely amazing. So I don't see why you're going to pass up on Cooper Kupp.
No, and I think he might even do better than
Puka. Yeah.
The reason Puka did so great last season isn't because he outperformed Cooper Kupp. It was because Cooper was injured for most of the season.
Yes.
When you put them together, if you look at the stats, Cooper Kupp did even better in some of the games.
Yeah.
So it's a wide receiver 1.5 on both of them. There's no clear number one option. If anything, it'd be Kupp because of the experience.
Yeah. And also, Matthew Stafford's coming for blood next year, so...
Yeah, Matthew Stafford is going to have a great season next year. Like we talked about, we both think they're contenders. Great receiving core, great running back core, so you can't just defend the pass, because if you do that, then Kyren Williams. So it's going to be, I don't know, Cooper Kupp is going to take over.
Yeah. And at that position, you better draft him, or
we're going to do some bad things.
Yeah.
All right, Zay Flowers at 47.
Zay Flowers at 40. Pass this man. Pass up on him. Let some other teammate get like 8 points per game. Oh my God. Don't. Lamar Jackson has not proven himself to be like a reliable passing threat. And you want to tell me you're going to draft Zay Flowers over someone like, who's going at like near that position?
I had these written down. Cooper Kupp going 2 spots before him.
Exactly.
Devontae Smith is going, I think it was 5, 6, 7 spots after him.
Oh my God.
And then around that same Devontae Smith, you got George Pickens. I'd rather those 3 players over Zay Flowers.
Like Zay Flowers, like he's the number one. Not even the number one option. You got Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews going to be more of a receiving threat than Zay Flowers. Like he was last season when he was healthy, he was doing better than Zay Flowers. And when Zay Flowers is the only receiving threat on that team, not even including tight ends, Isaiah Likely was getting more touchdowns than Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers had a total of 2 to 3 touchdowns the entire season.
And now Derrick Henry there.
Yeah, even less touches. You don't have Gus Edwards at running back anymore. Now you have Derrick Henry. That's even less touches. For Zay Flowers, it's a hard pass for me.
Less targets.
He's not bad. It's just like you said, he's not gonna get as many touches as he did last season. Even less touchdowns likely. I don't like him at 47. I'd rather the other guys.
Tell me with the straight face you'd rather have Zay Flowers over a triple crown receiver.
I don't have a straight face right now.
Exactly.
All right. At 75, Kyle Pitts. Hold on. Before anyone says anything, draft this man. He doesn't have Desmond Ridder at quarterback anymore. He doesn't have Marcus Mariota at quarterback anymore. There's more weapons on the offense now. Drake London. You have Bijan Robinson. I think he's going to have a great season. There's weapons around him now. He's not the only talented person on the team. I don't know. He's gonna get more touches. He's gonna be left open a couple more times. I think he's gonna do better under the new coaching staff as well. It's a big job for me if you get him in the 8th round when you already have all your running backs, all your receivers, and maybe even a quarterback.
I have so much PTSD from this man. This guy has sold my team so many times. So many 5 bombs, so many 4 bombs. Like, come on.
He doesn't have that one touchdown every season.
Oh my God. I drafted him when he was a rookie. High hopes. Probably wasn't he the highest tight end ever drafted or something? And what did he do? He had a stinker. 1 touchdown, bro. 1 touchdown. And now this year, like even less. He might have a quarterback. But now I feel like Bijan might get more targets than him. And he's a running back.
No, I think Bijan's gonna get more goal line touches, but I think targets, like throwing, Bijan's not getting more targets. I don't know. With the new coaching staff, I think Kyle Pitts is gonna be used a lot more.
I mean,
but if you're getting him, think about it. In these other drafts, you were picking him in the 5th round, even 6th round. Now you're getting him in the 8th round. You already drafted both your receivers, both your receivers, both your running backs. Your flex, your tight end, your tight end you're drafting at 8, and your quarterback. And a spot, everything's already drafted. Tight end's your last spot other than defense and kicker. Is Kyle Pitts not giving you value there?
I mean, I guess, but I'd rather have someone like a Dalton Kincaid, who I know is going to get the targets, who I know is going to do the job.
But what about the upside?
The upside? I mean, it depends if Atlanta's offensive line like stays strong. Kirk Cousins doesn't get injured by like week 5, week 4. He might have a shot to be like tight end 5, tight end 4.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. He has high upside, top 4. In my opinion, he'll end up being a top 5 tight end. Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta, George Kittle, and Travis Kelce are going to be the top of it. And Kyle is going to end up being 5. Getting a top 5 tight end, you don't have great tight ends. The drop off after that is what? Dalton Kincaid, who last season didn't do great. He was averaging 9 points, 8 points.
Okay, but to be fair, he had Stephon Diggs and
Stephon Diggs, who was averaging a good 12 points.
Yeah, but he's still getting most of it. He didn't score the points, but he got most of the targets. And Dawson Knox was there contesting Dalton Kincaid. They had Gabe Davis.
Dawson Knox is taking his spot back.
No, he's not.
I know.
So all that's gone.
Dawson Knox though.
All that's gone. I'd put more stock into Kincaid over a Kyle Pitts, in my opinion.
All right, I see. You could draft some backups at that point then. But I think I love the value of Kyle Pitts in the 8th round.
Now that man's sold my draft too many times.
What do you think about Devin Singletary? I know we talked about the Giants already, but Devin Singletary specific at an ADP of 90, which is the beginning of the 10th round.
I've thought about it. You could go first though.
I think it's the draft. They don't have a great O-line. They don't have a receiving core that we talked about. It's Malik Neighbors and Sterling Shepard if he's still there. They don't have a tight end. They lost Darren Waller when they traded him for nothing. No, I like the upside you get with Devin Singletary. He's gonna get these touches because there's no receivers. Daniel Jones, like he said, is probably gonna get injured, and if he's not injured, he's gonna be not throwing dimes because he's not Danny Dimes. And he's going to get his touches. He's going to get his yards, goal line touches as well. I think he's going to be the David Montgomery of the season.
David Montgomery. You see, the problem with that is David Montgomery
had an O-line. This man's going to be locked up in purgatory.
This guy's going to have nowhere to go.
But how's the Giants' schedule looking? I haven't really looked into that.
I'd have to search it up, but I don't care. They
have a relatively easy schedule, not facing the best defenses like the Eagles. They're in the same division.
Yeah, they're gonna face them twice.
Never mind. Never mind what I said.
He's cooked. He's not like some CMC that could still get pass with a battle line. He's not like Carolina CMC who's gonna bang 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 get you 100 yards. He's gonna get you how much 50, 60 yards at most.
But it's the goal line touches that he's getting 100% get. Whether he gets,
they're not getting to the goal line. That's the problem. That's the whole problem. Danny Dimes.
I know I said pass on Malik Neighbors, but if he has a crazy season, who's getting the goal line touches?
Oh.
And Danny's not throwing those dimes,
Danny Dimes.
Now, we're off the notes at this point. Free balling this. What are some fantasy football players that you like? What are, like in general? We haven't mentioned at all, or we mentioned slightly, but who are some guys you like at their value?
My Patriots boy, Ramondre Stevenson.
He had 2 great games at the beginning of last season. I remember that. I picked him on the waiver wires, and he let me down for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but he was dealing with a lingering injury.
But you said Ramondre Stevenson.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking about the wide receiver.
Who, Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah.
Oh.
For some reason, I misunderstood you.
Oh, we're getting him back this year too. So you know, maybe instead of 2 wins, we might get like 4. You never know.
No, Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, he has some value, but it's the same thing that we're talking about Devin Singletary, the O-line.
I mean, our O-line is not terrible though compared to the Giants.
Yeah, but who else do you have? Drake May.
Well, Drake May's not even the start. That's another thing too. Why are you gonna draft a man third overall? Third.
Who? Yeah.
And put Jacoby Brissett over him.
I don't know. It's like the right. No, Tua was injured, so I can't even say it's like the Ryan Fitzpatrick Tua thing.
You're gonna put a journeyman over, like, develop your man.
You have Jacoby Brissett, Kendrick Bourne, a mid O-line, and I don't think Ramondre Stevenson is gonna get the amount of touches you think he is. Or no, reverse. He's gonna get too many touches, but not enough yards. That we're saying about Devin Singletary.
I mean, he's gonna be a receiving threat. He's gonna be
the screen pass threat, but I don't know. That's gonna get I guess. What's his ADP though, more or less?
I want to say he's like 5th round. Wait,
5th round, 40s. Yeah, sounds about right.
Somewhere.
That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to double check. Yeah, you could get him around that. I'd rather Josh Jacobs. I know he's also going around there. But
the only problem with drafting Ramondre Stevenson is if the O-line literally just falls into pieces and his O-line is absolutely like literally the Giants. Or Antonio Gibson just turns into like some prime.
I forgot you guys got Antonio Gibson. So yeah, he's gonna get a couple of touches as well. I'm gonna try to. Well, as a Dolphins fan, I dislike the Patriots, so I'm gonna say pass on any of them. Next, and a couple players I like, Jordan Love. I was talking about him earlier.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going at an ADP of 98.
Actually, at 98, that sounds pretty solid. Actually,
he's not going at the same level of these other higher guys.
Yeah.
Like CJ Stroud's going at 68, I believe.
That's
or 59. One of the two, either 68 or 59. I don't remember.
Definitely a pass there.
It's one under Anthony Richardson, who's another pass, I think. Anthony Richardson going in the 5th, 6th, 7th round in some drafts. I don't like it.
He's gonna have a really good season and fantasy season this year, but I don't see him
again. It's the same thing that we're talking about Michael Penix and Daniel Jones. He's likely gonna get injured.
I'd rather have Kyler Murray than Anthony Richardson this year.
Yeah, nah. I'd rather have Anthony Richardson.
Why?
If we're talking straight up, where's Kyler Murray going at? Around the same one, like a couple spots later.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Anthony Richardson at that point. I'm drafting a quarterback early at that point. Rather have Anthony Richardson. He's gonna give you the scrambling yards. He's gonna do better.
I'd rather have Kyler Murray though. He finished.
You're gonna have the 5'8" Call of Duty star.
He's gonna. He barely sees over his offensive line, but still, I do feel like with Marvin Harrison Jr., he's gonna go absolutely ballistic.
I don't think Marvin Harrison's gonna do as good as people are projecting. He's gonna do good, but he's not gonna do great. He's not going to be a DeAndre Hopkins. He's not going to be that guy that he had before.
You're comparing DeAndre Hopkins with literally a rookie, though. He's obviously not going to be on that.
Kyler Murray's not going to do that good, though. I don't think it's hard. I don't like Kyler Murray ever.
What about his underrated run game, though? People underrated his run game a lot.
No, he has a solid scrambling game, but I'd rather Anthony Richardson.
That's a debate for another time. But who else? A sneaky pick that I like is Joshua Palmer, though.
We had some technical difficulties, so pardon that.
Yeah,
pardon that. Well, what were you saying about Joshua Palmer?
So, yeah, he's been with the Chargers for 4 seasons now. 3 seasons, going to be his 4th season. I just feel like he's super underrated route runner. He's going to get the targets. I just feel like he's really good.
I picked him up in the waiver wire over you.
Yeah.
Last second.
He didn't even get drafted in our league.
Yeah, and it was a 10-man. It wasn't an 8-man or a small league. A 10-man league, and he wasn't even drafted. He's a perfect waiver wire pick. If you pick up someone that's injured, that's gonna be out like CeeDee Lamb. If you pick up CeeDee Lamb, he's out right now. You put him in your injury list, and you pick up Joshua Palmer for now.
No, I might even have to draft him because he's going in the 12th round. Maybe even goes undrafted.
Yeah,
I have to pick him up.
And the last two more players I really like, David Montgomery from the Lions, obviously.
Oh yeah,
he's going in the late 90s,
or
mid 90s, late 90s. That's an amazing pick. Like we're talking about, we think Devin Singletary could somewhat replicate what he did last season. So he's getting goal line touches all the time, one, 2 touchdowns game consistently. I don't know. I think at 90 something, amazing upside there.
On paper, Jahmyr Gibbs is the RB1, but the actual RB1 is David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is more of the receiving threat. David Montgomery is more of like the actual like running back, getting them attempts, getting all the touchdowns. Like I'd rather have David Montgomery for the touchdowns than Jahmyr Gibbs.
I agree. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going way too high. That's another pass for me.
Yeah.
And then I like Zashir White from the Raiders. He's going around the same spot as David Montgomery. At the end of the season, the last 5 weeks or so, he was getting 16, 17, 18, even 20 points in one of the games. If he could keep that up for most of the season, I like him getting him in the 10th round. If David Montgomery's gone. I'd rather David Montgomery just slightly because I don't like the Raiders team in general. They don't have a quarterback. They have Devontae Adams.
They have Uncle Rico, Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got Gardner Minshew. I forgot about that.
Nah, that's not a flex though.
It's something. It's better than
Danny Dimes. I'd rather have anyone than Danny Dimes.
It is better than Danny Dimes in my opinion.
I think I'm better than Danny Dimes, to be honest.
Well, Gardner Minshew took the Colts to a near playoff spot if it wasn't for a game winner from the Texans.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be it for this episode.
That's it for the week. See you next week.